It's a sandbox. It's a soapbox. It's Bandbox. Welcome to the Real Study with your hosts, MrSniDBitS.
Because I do think the movie is good. I think the lighting is struggled. I think the cinematography is okay.
BlackGirlMarvel.
Follow us on everything, because we will find you.
All the movie things.
So many young filmmakers and indie filmmakers took it and just went with it, and it became this thing.
MrSniDBitS.
So that's what the story is, and then the film goes about answering that question for you.
And me, the Real Study movie voice guy.
I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to try it.
Produced by Hyena. Let's go to the poster wall.
Good evening. Welcome to the Real Study. I am MrSniDBitS, and as always with me, we've got BlackGirlMarvel, all the movie things, and Janine Devine, and we are here for week 3 of spooky season here on the Real Study. So 2 more after this. Tonight we're going to be covering Blacula from 1972 and Sinners from 2025. So actually a very new movie. And then we will get into Weapons in a couple of weeks. And I don't remember what the other one was paired with Weapons, but I know it's one I'm not crazy looking forward to because of how aggressive it is. But Brian, you had picked the other one going with Weapons. What was it again? Bring her back. That's right. Which we'll see how that goes. But for tonight, say it again.
A lot of great horror this year.
Right. It is a heck of a horror year. But we're going to go over to the main wall, and we're going to hear from Lala about social media, and then we'll get into the other things we have this evening.
Well, hello, folks. As always, we are The Real Study. Please join us on all social media, whether that's YouTube, Instagram, or, the TikToks, the Blue Skies. We're also on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Google, Podcast Republic, Anchor. We're everywhere. So make sure you follow us on everything. Make sure you give us a 1 to 5 if you're on the podcast platforms, if you're driving, because we want you to be safe. And if you got a movie or a documentary or a TV show, 13 episodes or less, let's call it a spade. Let's be real. Okay. We're not doing 22 episodes around here. Join our Discord, become a real student, and you can get us to check out a movie or a TV show. Maybe you have a personal movie that you created yourself with your friends. I know that's new and nobody's really talked about that, but that could be a fun thing that we could do as well. Some indie films that people have created or some documentaries and things like that. So come become a real student, join our Discord. Make sure you follow us there on all our private social medias as well, because we all do other things because we're all very talented. And we do other things that come together and have conversations about, Brian so-so, a little
We're
bit.
really humble as well. I just wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely, absolutely humble. We're the greatest. So make sure you join us. And back to you, Mr. Smith.
I appreciate that. Janine is still, of course, doing her other podcast, which is 2 podcasts. Morgan Hasn't Seen, and then It's a Wonderful Podcast. So please go follow those as well. So we have a little bit of news, I believe. I think it's just a smidge that I had mentioned to Hannah, and then we have a couple of movies that people have watched. So maybe we could go right to the news, and we'll see what you guys think of these couple of little announcements.
Now it's time for the real news.
Nothing crazy here, but the Daniels are set to make another movie and release it in 2027, and we have no information, but considering Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I know the panel is a fan of that film, I wanted to see what you guys think, and if you're one of the people like me that if they make a movie, I'm going to just watch it because I love everything.
I'm already at the theater.
You're already at the theater. Okay.
Okay. I'm waiting.
They have very interesting high concept stuff, and they haven't steered me wrong. So I'll definitely be there.
Think outside the boxers, and I think,
and I always appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, they think way like the box isn't visible. I think it's way over there.
They break the box.
Have you guys seen Swiss Army Man? Because I know Brian has seen Swiss Army Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not for everybody, but I adore that movie, even as gross as it is. It says a lot about life.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate the thought behind it and the creativity behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Radcliffe was just put through the ringer in that
Mhm.
movie. I can't imagine the experience of shooting that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it had to be weird. Especially the like riding him as almost like
Yeah.
a motorboat or a speedboat
Yeah.
or a jet ski even. Yeah, good stuff. Law, have you seen Swiss Army Man? Do we have you watch that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that one wasn't for you, you said.
I won't say it wasn't for me. I was trying to say words. I wouldn't say it wasn't for me. It was very. It felt like if somebody reimagined Castaway,
Mm.
and that's what it kind of felt like. Like if Wilson was real, I feel like that would be Swiss Army Man. So it was.
Or if we were like in Tom Hanks' head,
right,
kind
Tom
of like,
Hanks' brain, like, and that would be Swiss Army Man for me.
The fever dreams he was
Right.
having on the island.
And
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. It was just I'm way weirder now than I was when I first watched it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I think the me then didn't appreciate what I was watching.
All right.
If I'm being
That's
honest.
fair.
Yeah, like something told me to buy it, so I bought it, but I don't think I watched it since I bought it. So,
That's funny.
But it's always in the collection.
yeah, it's always there.
Yeah.
I
Seen it
wanted it to
twice.
be there.
But it's not one that you're like, let me run out and like
Yeah.
binge this, let me
Yeah.
Superman this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
Evening with the Daniels.
Yeah, it's not one of them.
Any guesses on what? I mean, this is a wild. Like we have no information, so it would have to be a straight guess on what they would do.
Yes, I don't know. They
They
think
have-
outside the
is there
box.
even like
I don't know.
is there even a title? There's like nothing.
Nothing.
What if
I would-
what if
I
on
would
next
want to
film?
see.
What's it called?
I mean, I don't know if everything ever all at once is considered sci-fi. I would love to see them do like a full-on sci-fi
I'm not mad at that.
thing.
I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
sweet. I mean, the possibilities list for that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like subgenre sci-fi because there is the tech
Right.
and the switching
Yeah.
universes, but that's it. And after that, it becomes much more of like a
I mean, it felt more
existential
super
family
natural
drama.
yeah,
sci-fi, which
yeah.
I know that those kind of blend a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
that felt more supernatural. I wouldn't mind them being more like sci-fi, maybe industrial a little bit.
Like raw sci-fi, or maybe like post-apocalyptic sci-fi. They could
Yeah.
play in that
Or
world
maybe
a
with them,
lot.
the way they do stuff, maybe it'll be like a sci-fi that takes place during a western or something like that. Their brains,
Could be it.
their brains move,
Could be it.
you know.
Cowboys and aliens. Part two.
Yeah, but
Right.
better, you know.
Hey, Favre did a fine job with that movie. I like Cowboys and Aliens. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It's fine.
Wild West though. So fair.
Wild West. That's really just a movie that got made because a producer wanted a giant spider in a movie and couldn't have it, so he had to make that movie.
Yeah.
So,
The fiercest killer in the animal kingdom,
Oh yeah.
according to him. Yeah.
Marley says the Daniels directed an episode of the Skeleton Crew recently, so that's interesting. I haven't gotten to Skeleton Crew yet, so
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
I'll have to see how that goes.
How do
Well, I'm
Marley-
still trying to get through Rebels before I finish
Right.
Ahsoka, because Ahsoka feels so empty if you haven't watched the cartoons that come before it. So I'm trying to get through that.
Either
Which I
towards
think
the end of this year or the beginning of 2026, I will start my Star Wars continuation. I'm going to rewatch Mandalorian and go from there, like Mandalorian
Yeah.
Andor. So I haven't seen any of those.
Grogu, right? Because that's coming soon. So.
Mhm.
What did you say?
Mandalorian and Grogu is the
movie.
Yeah,
coming
that
out
one,
in
yeah.
May. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I think because I'm so far behind on the Star Wars like TV shows that it's not even funny.
you're
It's
going to
like-
have to tell me.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll keep you posted. It's so much though. It seems like
I know.
the moment I blinked and they were like Andor. I'm like,
Yeah, they made like four.
Yeah,
all
they're
of a
feeding
sudden,
us
like, yeah.
very well.
yeah.
I know,
I was like, oh my god! But it's funny how people are like Marvel fatigue. Nobody got Star Wars fatigue. I was like,
Well, Marvel technically has more content than Star Wars. As much as
Very
that
true.
doesn't seem right, it really
Right.
does. And it's
Very
like
true.
many hours. I tried to.
It's
I
just
was like, which
more-
one's the
they have
most?
more
And it's the
TV. They come out
MCU.
with more TV shows kind of quickly. Star Wars, whereas
Right.
like Marvel was like movie and TV, and it's like breathe.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize how important the cartoons, like they are like wildly important to the canon of modern Star Wars. So yeah, and they're good if you let them. Like Lala will have no problem with that. She's an animation like fan to the max, so I think
Yeah,
she'll have
absolutely.
zero problem. But
Yeah, and I want to watch Clone Wars too, so I want to watch their animated stuff too. But I think I'll stay with the live action for right now.
I know
And then
that's where
I'll
I'm at too.
and then I'll just go
Yeah,
back
it's
to
like-
the
I've watched all the live
animated.
action stuff, but I haven't watched.
I would skip to season 4 of Clone Wars and watch 4, 5, 6, 7 and leave it at that. You can skip the first 3 because it's just about the troops.
Understand who I am as a person.
You can't do that. That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
I love it.
You're like,
That's why I
no, I'm
said-
starting at
that's
episode
why I
1,
said
and
that's why I said I'll build up to the animations. I'll go to the live actions.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch everything, but it's just a lot, and it's I gotta
it is.
pace
It is.
myself. So.
Plus, I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, I have to watch the animated stuff to watch
To
the live action
understand.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't, but it gives it such a wonderful amount of flavor that it's worth the trip. I understand, do all the live action first and then come back and fill it in. It's worth doing. So,
yeah.
And I didn't think so either, because I've been resistant for the Clone Wars since it came out. I was just like, this is so ridiculous. Why does he have a Padawan? What is all this happening when the 2 movies never mention it? And yet it works better than I thought it would. I digress. We could talk about Star Wars for way too long. That said, we do have another piece of news, and this is an interesting one. We've got Leo DiCaprio is producing a documentary about Bela Lugosi, and I thought this was interesting since we're also going to go over Blacula tonight. So I was like, okay, this is a fitting piece of news. It's interesting because barely anybody ever talks about Bela Lugosi, and considering he's such an icon, this should be nice to see somebody put him back on the forefront so we can hear about his life and how he did, because his career got interesting right after Dracula. Like it didn't do as well as it could have. Being he was such a big character. But what do you guys think about this idea of a documentary about Bela?
What's a
Anybody excited?
biopic, right? Not a documentary, right?
It is a biopic. That's right.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just want to clarify. That'd be a very different thing.
So it will be a film about Bela, but then we have to figure out who's going to play Bela Lugosi.
Right.
Do we get somebody who actually, is of the same descent, or how are they going to do that? It's always interesting when we don't know how that'll go. But I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts.
I don't know anything about him, so I'm
like even as like somebody who's a classic films person, I don't know much about him, so I think it would be interesting to kind of delve into that.
Yeah, I'm
like, is DiCaprio interested in playing?
That's what I'm. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if he's producing it, 9 out of 10, he might star in it as well, which helps to get off the ground because I'm a producer on it. I also star in it, so yeah. I wouldn't see an issue with that. Also, with the picture that's up there, I can see it. All you gotta do is just click that back, no part.
Just click it back, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on the name of the movie, the about the director that Johnny Depp did. The cross-dressing director. What's that movie called?
Ed Wood.
Yes, so they do go into him, kind of idolizing him at the end of his career. He didn't get any work, so he put him in his films. So to kind of explore the later career of him, kind of feeling washed up, and Ed Wood kind of taking this chance on him because he loved him so much, and kind of making him still feel like a star. So going into all of that would be really interesting.
What an underrated movie.
Ed Wood,
I love Ed Wood. It's so good.
Well, it was when I think it was still when Burton was putting out bangers. Like he was doing a great job at the time. But it's quirky. It's very Tim Burton, but it's also very Ed Wood. In that way. We've actually seen a Bela Lugosi movie on the Reel Study. We watched The Island of Lost Souls, where he actually plays the head beast guy, but he's near unrecognizable in that movie because his face is just covered in fur.
Oh my god!
And it's just weird to go from Dracula to a guy with a furry face. I don't know. Most people's careers don't do that. You don't start as this style character and then go down from there. It would be ironic to have Leo play him for that reason, since he's been a star since he was.
Yeah, but his star has went kind of like this. Like his films don't really hit the same as they used to. No disrespect.
DiCaprio's?
Or they.
Didn't he just have a smash hit with Paul Thomas Anderson that's doing very well?
Did he?
Yeah, the
One Battle After Another.
I don't know. I just don't see people talk about him like they used to. So to me, that goes into your star power as well.
Press. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. I don't know. We'll see. There's not a ton of news, but I thought these were interesting because we don't get to see older movies or older actors get turned into films as often, and I think it's nice to see. So we'll keep you posted on.
I want more actors to start doing stuff like this, even if they don't star in it. I'm not saying that I mean, sometimes the best way for you to get work is to create your own work. If social media hasn't taught me anything else, like sometimes you got to figure out how to create it yourself. But I think more actors should start doing stuff like this. Like, you didn't get into movies just because, oops, I fell into a theater and started acting. Like, I think most like it in some type of way, or like, they look up to an actor or something like that. Like, I feel like more actors should do stuff like this to give a better light to like directors or other actors that
classic movie stars and that kind of thing. Because
during their time,
I would love to see Rebecca Ferguson, because every time I see her, I'm like, Ingrid Bergman. Like, I would love to see her do biopic, because she was blacklisted for a while and all kinds of crazy stuff. So
yeah.
Okay, see, now I want to see a biopic about Charles Lawton, because he's one of my classic favorites.
Oh yeah,
see, that'd be fun though.
Yeah.
And then you can find a big guy to play him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which would be nice. And if they,
I want to see the John Candy biopic.
Oh God, that would.
I mean, not biopic, but documentary.
The documentary, yeah, absolutely. Although his son is going to play Barf in Spaceballs 2, which I'm in for that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be great.
I want to see that. Like, I wouldn't mind one on a whole bunch of people. I just want to see stuff. I want to see stuff that we don't know about. I want to get to know, like, actors or directors more, their lives, because people don't pay attention to them. It's always about the actor. It's always about, nobody pays attention to, like, maybe the director, or like, because I would love like years from now, Colleen Atwood might be one of the best like designers in Hollywood. Like, a story about her would be pretty dope, or like a documentary, or even like a biopic about like, how do you become this amazing? Like, how do you put, like, it's just, I think that would be interesting to watch. Too, so.
Yeah, I swear there's not enough mainstream behind the scenes type stuff that like tells you how the industry works in a fun and creative way. Or even in there's lots of it in film, almost like parody, like the Player, or the Seth Rogen show. There's a few, but I would love to see more, because Hollywood used to parody Hollywood or make movies about Hollywood like all the time. Like they were like, hey, we're here. Why don't we make movies about here? Because we're here.
Yeah.
And now we don't get nearly that. Although now it's like corporate offices and
downing it.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons I love Babylon and Singing in the Rain. They both focus on like that transition,
that era,
right?
How difficult it was, and
to sound, but it's really got to see like how they made movies back then too.
100%.
Not even from like a parody or a satirical, like
right, because that's usually how it is now. It's usually like they're making fun, or
you throw
like,
some fun things around it, but you're still telling the real story of what it looks like.
Or it's like some type of horror story. It's like, don't go to Hollywood. You're going to
Anaconda.
like this.
They're doing an Anaconda remake, but instead it's two dudes that are going to be filming their own version of Anaconda. Which I'm like, okay, I can.
I like that.
I'm cool with that,
just a
that
straight
Black Orchid one, baby, I walk out the theater for that one. I said, no, thank you.
Right. If it was just a remake, I'd be, what are you guys doing? You made 18 sequels. All of them sucked. Like, we don't care. Now the Anaconda ended up fighting space giants or something. I don't even know. But
it's gonna be the Fast and the Furious of anacondas.
Anacondas in space. I love it. Yeah. Now I'm seeing like spacesuits on them. I don't know why that's kind of cool. That's a weird idea of an anaconda in a space.
It's like Rick and Morty.
No, it would just be it would just be a helmet. They would just have
a helmet with like a
and the rest of them.
Or just wrap in a helmet. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just a helmet with a cap. Anyway, all right. So we'll look forward to this movie as we get more information. But for now, we're going to move over to talking about a couple of movies people got to see. We're going to start with Law. You got to see Batman Year One. Was this your first time seeing Batman Year One?
First time seeing Batman Year One. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is early animation.
It's like 2011, I believe.
Right. Right around the same time as the Red Hood, I think. Right in the same era.
I think right around that time. think so, or was Red Hood 2019? I don't know.
I can look. Tell us what you thought.
So I was watching Blacula because it was on my YouTube for free. I was like, oh, it's for free on YouTube. I was like, yay! And so after I finished Blacula, I was like, stuff just started playing, and then I was like, oh, Batman Year One. I was like, why not? So I just put it on because I know that Matt Reeves said that this was the inspiration that he took because he took the inspiration from the Batman Year One comic for The Batman with Robert Pattinson. So I was like, oh, okay, this is based off that comic. Let me watch it, and I can see the breath of life that Matt Reeves took from this comic to kind of make, because it's the same. It's like you have the voiceovers of being like Saturday, October 7th, like, you know, it has like that type of thing. Where he's voicing over. But what I like, because like if you look at the Batman, even though it doesn't say year one, it's essentially everybody's year one in a way. It's
right,
Bruce's, it's Gordon's, it's Selina's, it's Penguin's. It's like everybody's like year one of becoming what we know them to be. And so in the animated one, it's they outline it a little bit better, where you see that like Bruce is coming back from his time away since his parents have been dead, and now Gordon is making his way to Gotham for the first time, having been transferred to Gotham with his pregnant wife. But this is a different world because his wife is pregnant, but she has a son. So she has James Jr. She doesn't have Barbara. So like it's like a different type of world. But it was a very fun watch. It was interesting watching this Batman essentially do what the Robert Pattinson one day. He would mess up and be like, "Yeah, I'm not ready yet. He's like, I gotta train more. I gotta do more." And it was interesting seeing Gordon solidify his stance as a good man. Well, I take that back, as a good cop and a so-so man, because he cheated on his wife. He cheated on his wife. He had like a little like 2-month affair with like his. It was very SVU Benson Stabler, but they actually happened. It actually happened. So, but I actually really enjoyed this. I am a Batman fan. I like Batsy. So like I would advise everybody, if you enjoyed the Batman Year One, to me just adds way more context to what they did in that film. Not to knock that film at all, but it's to watch the trials and tribulations of both of these heroes kind of come to the decision that maybe we should work together. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing the same thing on the opposite side, and they're moving like this, and then finally they're like, how about we do some stuff together? And you get like Gordon kind of voicing over his life and things like that. So you got Gordon kind of voicing over, just like you got Batman voicing over. And I would have liked that in the Batman movie, to get like Gordon's voice a little bit louder, to hear some of his thoughts. Having to see that he's around corruption, because in this film Gordon is around corruption, and he's like, okay, don't do anything, watch, reference for the future. Like he's like, I can't step in yet until I can make sure that these are bad people, because he's new to town and he doesn't know this city, and he doesn't know how it moves.
Plus, I don't think he wants to get caught up in corruption himself.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like,
so he's like, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Snitty,
how's the animation?
Snitty, your mic is off.
Your mic's out.
You're trying to talk.
Yeah.
Weird. Sorry. Thank you. It's almost like it's almost like Gordon is writing everything down in case a Batman or a Batman type figure shows up, because he understands something needs to happen with it. But
it's almost like he's notating like a cop does. Like,
right.
He's like telling, but the animation, to me, I love the animation. I thought it was I thought it was clean. It gives like an old school like 60s feel to the animation, to how it's like drawn, how it's kind of like sketched, but it's not one of those animations where I was like, my eyes are dying and I can't.
Yeah, that always ends up kind of taking me out when I watch it.
And that happens to me sometimes. I'll be like, oh, I want to watch this, and I'm like, because it's not okay. You ever seen like, what was it, the Phantasm one that he did? Like
Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah. We watched that one. The animation isn't as sharp as that. That animation is very sharp.
Yeah,
it's very much like the 90s Batman cartoon.
Yeah, this one is
I love that animation style.
But it has a smoothness to it.
Dark
Deco.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I love the legend, how like Batman was like, nobody knew who he was. They had different sketches of him. Like, it was just interesting seeing the cops try to like figure out who this masked thing is. They keep calling him, like, one guy was like, he's not human. I was like, but he is though. But it's awesome. So,
Wasn't one of the sketches the original Bob Kane, dude in a suit
Yeah.
with bat wings.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Which
It's like,
If
it was like etched up
finger, we wouldn't
on the
have
wall.
the
Yeah.
Batman we know. Yeah.
right.
I would advise everybody to kind of watch it because one, it was just a fun watch. It was
Yeah.
very interesting to see these characters in their
In
year
this
one,
kind of early stage.
right?
That's
Because
Yeah.
we're used to seeing them like fully realized he's a
Yeah,
commissioner.
ready. So,
No,
yeah.
bro was a detective at this point. He moves to lieutenant. Like, it's very. I love watching stuff like this because you don't get it often. Usually, we just get dropped into their lives immediately. In this, you get to see them become the legends that they become. So
Okay,
yeah,
Right.
cool. Yeah, because I
Which
own a
can
ton
be
of the
very
Batman
cool.
animated films, but I haven't seen this
cool.
one.
yeah.
I
I feel like this
prefer-
was fun. This was fun.
I prefer hero stories when that's the case, because when you do it with villains, I feel like it ruins them. Because if I know that you're just like a mama's boy, I'm like, well, then why are you scary? That's not scary. You're just a mama's boy. Like, I don't know.
But I need you to be like a mama's boy.
Well,
His mother beat him into becoming a murderer.
Something.
And now you understand
Well, it all, like-
that this is what happened to you, but you're still a murderer. That just makes no sense.
Well, at the end of the day, it makes me think like you guys just really needed therapy. Like,
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
fine.
Both
You
groups.
should have went therapy, and then
You'd be fine.
Batman and Hannibal Lecter sitting in a therapy session, working it out, seeing if they can get it figured out.
Hopefully.
Little fun piece of trivia about this movie: Ben McKenzie plays Batman in this movie, but also plays Jim Gordon in Gotham. So he got to play both characters.
that's cool.
And of course,
what
Bryan
interesting
Cranston.
thing about the Batman too, it's technically his second year as Batman
Yeah.
Right.
in the movie, so it's kind of funny to see because
You're
this
like,
year
yeah,
one.
start
Because
and then
Gordon
go
and him
into
are
the Batman.
like kind of
Yeah.
established.
Or, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always
it sounds
interested
like
to
he just picked
see-
up from there.
Yeah, I'm always interested too to see how, because I know that
Honestly, that's what it
the
felt
comic
like.
stuff interesting,
Yeah.
so I'm always interested to
Right.
see like how they condense it into
Mhm.
Yeah.
these
But that's
animated
what it
films.
felt like. It felt like you could watch this one and then you could watch
And then
the
go right
Batman.
into-
Right
Yeah.
into the
It would
Batman.
run right into it.
I love that.
It kind of ends with Gordon kind of voicing over and being like,
Mm.
you know, I gotta figure out this issue with this new crazy guy who calls himself the Joker. But I got a friend
Oh,
who's
shit.
going to show up and help me with that. And then it like fades
Nice.
to black, and he's on a rooftop, and it fades to black.
Which is
There's
kind of
no-
like Batman Begins ish,
yeah,
It is.
you know, in a lot
It
of
is.
ways. So
yeah.
that's
So
But then
it
the end
picks up right
of
into the Batman. So yeah.
Dark Knight kind of does it too, because that's when he becomes the myth of like the bad Batman they have to
Batman.
catch,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
which is weird. I love how people like kind of put it where they want and they figure
Yeah.
it out. I mean, do the same thing with Spider-Man and other heroes.
But
they just kind
we
of
all
move it
know
around.
that
Oh,
Batman
yeah,
has
like,
that,
there's
like
Spider-Man,
Batman has like that plot armor where like he's the greatest mind that ever minded anything in the world, and so he never gets caught up on anything. He's always 15 steps ahead, and in this one he gets cornered by the cops. Like he gets
Oh, yeah.
cornered by the
Yeah.
GCPD. Like he has to, and he doesn't have his utility.
He's got to build
belt.
that
He got
plot armor.
destroyed.
Yeah.
So-
Right, he has to build that plot armor. Absolutely, right. He
Yeah.
has to build that. So he has to get rid of his belt. He
Yeah.
literally says like, I only have like like 3 blow darts, a taser, and something else on me, and it's like a full SWAT, because he's been confronting all the corrupt cops and everything.
Yeah,
And the commissioner is a corrupt cop, and he was like, listen, I'm just like, oh, y'all know, y'all only got, enjoy this night that y'all having right now. It was so savage. He's like, enjoy this night, drink, be merry, do all these things, but it's going to end for all of you. And then the commissioner was like, Gordon, if you don't find him, you're going to lose your job. And he's corrupt, and like, it was a manhunt literally for this man, and he had to fight his way out. I would have loved to see this like live action, because it was just so good.
totally.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
watching him having to figure out how. Mind you, he got shot in the leg, so he's bleeding as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
It's like in the thigh, it's like a whole. It's
Which I feel
a
like
whole
has
thing.
to happen. Like, there's no way he's getting
Yeah.
out of that
Yeah.
unscathed. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then like,
Right.
oh, then
It's a
you
newbie.
get Catwoman in this one too. Like you see her year one. They keep thinking that she's connected to Batman, and she's like, I'm not connected to him. Like she's getting
Leave me
mad,
out of
trying
this.
to
Right?
make a name for herself.
Yeah.
And it's like I was like, listen here, y'all could have just took this, put it into a movie, but you kind of
Right? Brian, you got to see Roof Man starring Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, Lakeith Stanfield, and Ben
Yeah.
Middleton. Tell us what you thought.
It's so good. Like, it's just like, I feel like it's just like little hidden gem that like really didn't promote a lot. I mean, of course, us movie nerds, we kind of
Yeah, I saw a few
in-
interviews here.
yeah,
same.
we're kind of in the world of it and kind of are paying attention to these things. But I don't think the general movie public really is aware of this film.
There's not a ton of showtimes either because I plan to go see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been out maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and even after 1 week, they really like lowered the
already cut it down.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, Channing Tatum just has that charisma, and you know, like
he knows what he can do, and he stays in his kind of gear really well.
Yeah. It's like it's funny, it's heartwarming, heartbreaking. He's like, I mean, it's based on true story. It's all set in North Carolina, I believe, and I never heard about the story, so it was like one of those stories that was like local, I imagine, to North Carolina. But it was like all over the news, and he's like a dad, you know, and just trying to like do right by his girls, and ends up entering into this like life of crime. And he would like rob McDonald's and Burger King's and these other stores like that, and restaurants and stuff, like go through the roof. He was really good at like attention to detail stuff. He was like a veteran, so he was like very much paid attention to observation and stuff like that. But that's why he got known as the roof man, because he always went through the roof of these places. And he was like really nice though. He was like even people that were interviewed, like his
I heard about that.
They would like talk about how nice he was and everything.
Like he'd lock them in the freezer and make sure they had their coats.
And that's, you see that in the movie. But the thing is, he gets caught and he goes to prison for a while. He breaks out of prison. Like,
what?
Wow.
Yeah, he breaks out of prison. Like, it's, I mean, and then he goes and hides in this Toys R Us, like for a while. Like he just like, I mean, he's there in plain sight. He's like not hidden in like the like ceiling or some secret. He's like right there in the middle of the store. There's like this hollowed out like display thing that he just like ducks in behind, and just like calmly comes out at night when the stores close. But he like ends up like getting mixed into the community. Like one of the employees is Kirsten Dunst's, you know, character. She works there. Plus, it's fascinating to see like Toys R Us. Like this is back in the 90s. Or no, not 90s. Sorry, it's like early 2000s.
Still, Toys R Us kind of kept
Toys R Us still existed
for a long time.
Yeah. So I'm like, how did they? Because Toys R Us doesn't exist. So I'm like, they had to like
find one and make it. Yeah.
So it was just fascinating to see that. But he gets mixed into the community. Like goes to church. That's where Ben Mendelsohn's character is. He's like the pastor of the church and everything. It's like no one's like recognizing him or anything.
Yeah,
like,
he's making friends.
He's kept a low profile while things, you know, kind of died down about him. But he ends up getting in a romantic relationship with Kirsten Dunst's character, and like,
of course,
really like being involved with her kids and everything, and like, so he's really kind of a good guy, but he just ends up doing these like wrong things, you know, and just like his heart is there. He's just not. I mean, he's still in prison. You know, he actually tried breaking out 2 more times.
Oh no!
Guess. Like, it's.
At this point, just hire him. Just hire him to be like an infiltrator or something like that, because obviously
he's got the skills.
He got the skills,
man. Skill set.
Yeah, you should see the way he breaks out of this. But it's I really loved it. It's a really good film. It's just kind of a feel good movie. And you see like he doesn't really get away with the things he's doing. You know what I mean? Like even though he is a good guy, you know, at his core, there's just like, you know, Lakeith Stanfield is like an old army buddy of his, and he kind of has his own kind of like shifty hustle that he's doing with like making fake IDs and passports and stuff, and tries to help him out. And it's heartbreaking, but like a lot of funny moments though. Like it's mostly a comedy with those heartwarming moments. So
but a cautionary tale.
Yeah, definitely a cautionary tale. Yeah.
Just real quick. Apparently, Toys R Us is still in Canada, so our producer told us that there is Toys R Us in Canada. So if you want to visit Toys R Us,
they went to Canada.
International, you know, there. And then Marley brought up a good point. As soon as you started describing this movie, I thought the same thing Marley did, which is Where the Heart Is. I started thinking of the Natalie Portman movie where she locks herself in a Walmart and stays overnight. But for all we know, that was based on this, because this could have been right around the same time.
But I mean, Janine gets it because it's that episode of Dawson's Creek where they're her.
Oh yeah, where Pacey and Joey get locked in a Kmart. Kmart doesn't exist anymore either.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's one of my favorite episodes, by the way.
Yeah, so good.
This to me, I don't know. Did you guys see Lucky Logan with Channing Tatum and Adam Driver? Does it feel like that at all? Because it also has that kind of goofy undertone, but with a serious plot. Or is it more lighthearted than that?
I think it's probably more lighthearted than that. Like Logan Lucky to me felt more of like a heist film in a lot of ways, where this doesn't really have any like heist elements in it. You know, you see him do his crimes, but really it's more about him just trying to like
integrate,
keep a low profile and not get caught again. You know, because he's out of prison. You know, and it's more about him building this relationship with Kirsten Dunst and trying to like not have anyone recognize him, even though he's going to church and like all this stuff and like having a full.
Well, he's going to church. That's great.
Exactly.
He's trying to repent. Right?
Yeah, but it's a perfect vehicle. It's a perfect thing for Channing Tatum and his his
like brand of comedy.
Yeah,
love it.
That's fun.
All right.
I like
so that
back into comedy. Like I like her kind of sneaking back into the.
Yeah, no, she was great.
So Kirsten was good in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
serious stuff.
I think people forget she's quite funny.
Yeah.
Who does Ben Middleton play?
He's like the pastor of the church.
Pastor of the church, right?
Oh, what? Yeah. Oh, because see, my brain. Yeah. He's a bad guy in everything in my brain, even in the MCU. I'm like, I was like, oh no, I still don't trust you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then he just has bad guy face.
Peter Dinklage is like the manager of the Toys R Us.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
From the trailer that I've seen, and I love when Peter Dinklage is just he's like, hey, some M&Ms or.
Yeah, we got a low inventory of M&Ms. He's kind of a dick manager in this, so no one really likes him, kind of thing. But he's like all about Toys R Us, you know, like.
But that makes sense. That works.
Yeah,
like that.
Like yes, exactly.
Yeah. I worked at Toys R Us when I was in my 20s. That was a weird job. All right, so we have two movies we're going to talk about this evening, and we're going to move to those right away. The first one is, of course, 1972 Blacula. This is a blaxploitation film that is a take on the Dracula legend, but it is its own version. I'm sure everybody's going to have plenty to say about the good and the bad of the film. But Janine, you actually were the one that decided we should watch this, and originally you said Vampire in Brooklyn, but we changed it to Sinners because we all very badly want to discuss Sinners. So tell us what you think, why you picked it, and even why you threw the other one in there, but even though we didn't watch it.
Well, we had done a series on Morgan Hasn't Seen a few years back where we did like a whole month of Black double features. So we did Black horror double features where we did Blacula and Vampire in Brooklyn. So I knew they kind of paired pretty well together. I had heard about this movie in the documentary that we actually did on this show, Horror Noir. And so kind of in hearing about like the behind the scenes stuff and, you know, William Marshall's input in wanting to make this a very dignified story, and not make it kind of your typical stereotypical, you know, blaxploitation thing, I was really intrigued by it. So this movie, then when I went to watch it, was such a surprise because, you know, you hear the title Blacula, it sounds like it's going to be this kind of schlocky, cheesy thing. Blaxploitation, obviously, like it has its good and bad kind of qualities. Black people kind of, you know, getting to see themselves be the leads in films, kind of a really great turning point for Black people in filmmaking, but then we also do kind of get ridiculous stereotypes. And even, you know, in the Horror Noir documentary, it talked a lot about kind of the other Black horror films kind of being a little bit silly, like the Frankenstein one was just kind of campy and not really a great film. So to kind of watch Blacula, it was just such a great surprise to me that, you know, it took these really great steps to elevate itself in a lot of ways. Because William Marshall, he was just kind of supposed to be a guy. So his input in wanting to make his character Mama Walde, this African prince who's fighting for, you know, ending the slave trade, and making himself this really dignified character. William Crane kind of looking around and realizing he's the only Black person on this set. So he really has to kind of hold a strong hand for representation and things. I think in that documentary, he talks about the club scene where, the producers wanted to segregate the people dancing on the dance floor. But he was like, no, let's mix these people up. Let's have everybody dancing together. So just those little things in terms of really crafting a really kind of interesting, elevated horror story was what really surprised me about this movie. I absolutely loved it. And of course, it still has its like little silly moments in there as well. I mean, when William Marshall turns to the camera and says, "Oh, I'll have a Bloody Mary," I'm just like losing it. So I just was so impressed in the fact that this film like took those chances to really elevate the genre, and still tell a fun story that still felt like it fit in the blaxploitation genre.
All right. Brian, was this your first time watching Blacula?
Yes.
Mine too. What did you think about your first time with this film?
Man, yeah, it's like,
man,
it's tough, man. Like I love the aspect of them trying to elevate it and trying to like really have some like, oh shit, this is more than just a vampire movie. Like this is like, he's this African prince meeting with Dracula back then. Trying to like, which to me too, like kind of tracks like, oh yeah, of course Count Dracula's involved.
Totally racist.
Like,
absolutely, right?
Like, come on. He's like, just I love that element, but then it kind of just disappears. Like we don't. At least that was my kind of interpretation of it. Like I kind of wish we would have gotten a little more of that.
Or you stayed on the track of it even after.
And like there is the element too of like the young woman that he mistakes as his wife,
as his like wife reincarnated.
Yeah, exactly. And like so that element was, I think a lot of Dracula and vampire films there is like this love element
story in there.
So I think that there's a lot of those kind of like traditional Dracula kind of tropes that we see in here, which I thought was great. But then there's like the things that are just like hard for me to like watch, like the cinematography. I mean, and I will say this: a lot of films in this era, like rough cinematography.
Grainy, gritty.
Yeah, and it's not even that. There's just like light everywhere. Like it's just like, we just need to light this thing. I don't give a shit. It's artistic.
Just get it lit.
Vampire movie, so you should try to set a mood.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
they're like, can you see their face? Excellent. Like, all right, that's all we need to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I should just see their face and their eyes. And the thing, like, if I can see, like, one of the things, like, any cinematographer, like Roger Deakins has mentioned this too, like, if you notice it, then I haven't done my job. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, you want to be immersive, but like, I'm like seeing all the lights like behind the camera, you know what I mean? Essentially, in my mind, I'm like, there's a shitload of lights behind these guys, behind this camera right now. And there's just like shadows everywhere, it's just like shadow. There's like a light over here causing this shadow. There's all these lights. So that like is distracting to me. But I'm like, God damn, it's bright. Like, the club scene just like lit as
I had a similar problem with the audio. I felt like the audio.
The audio was not
sound and a lot of like tin sound all the way through it. Which what are you gonna do? Like, I'm certain they didn't have wildly expensive
movies made on the cheap. I think the budget was $500,000. I think.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, definitely.
Which like
not a ton.
No, but 1972. I mean, that's like a good chunk, but also still considered low budget.
Yeah, and he's a Black director, so they're
I know
white producers. So.
I think it's incredible that this film is made, and I actually watched a documentary about blaxploitation films a while back, and it was fascinating to see that era discussed, and I do see like the elements of it. I do feel like I think it's a positive that it kind of like one, it's a horror film, but also like I feel like it really leaned into more of the horror elements and the Dracula side of things, rather than trying to like make itself a black exploitation film. So I like really appreciated that, because it's like we want to get away from some of this stuff. We don't want it just to be another blaxploitation film.
Exactly.
Be like,
and that's what I was expecting when I went into it. So when it kind of did some interesting things, I was really surprised. Yeah.
And right out of the gate too, like I was really like great. Like we got to like we go right into it, you know, like there's, you know, and then once he's like in modern day, then it's kind of okay. We're gonna. So I like how they kind of did that too. Like they wanted to like separate itself with the era. So as soon as we got to the 70s, like, okay, we're gonna lean into some of the 70s stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
but the very long scenes of the band and their dancing.
Oh my god,
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I
was like, all right, guys. Like,
Baby girl,
yeah. But that's actually, they actually went on to kind of be famous. They sing the song Rock. They sing the Rock the Boat song. You know.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's them. Yeah.
I found that whole sequence entertaining. I don't know. I was like, this is fantastic.
It got comedic after a while. I was like, okay.
Sure,
but it's like, okay, it's still going. It's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. But I wanted to mention too, because Janine had pointed out to me when I was watching it, was like that little slow motion sequence was terrific, because one is like terrifying too, and like the actress is like really giving it, and the thing was it's the only slow motion sequence that we see, and the thing too that's good to note is like, one, this is all film, obviously. Back then, film is expensive. Even back then, it's still expensive. Shooting anything slow-mo, essentially you're using more film to shoot a slow motion sequence. Like, and they didn't try to do it in post either, where it's like, because if you try to do it in post, you shoot 24 frames a second normally, and then you try to slow that down, it's like you're losing.
It's gonna look really choppy.
Like, you're gonna see that. Where this, they like dedicated, no, we're gonna get a either a high speed
whatever
and we're gonna like run like 120 frames a second,
right?
You know,
and then slow that down to 24.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that looked great. That was like super smooth.
Yeah. If nothing else looked good, I was like, I think Brian will appreciate this
great.
shot.
It stands out.
So I want to know what he thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, because it really was like, which I appreciate. You know, it's like,
there's some craft here. There's some care for where, you know, where we can budget it. Let's invest
it's not Zack
in
Snyder.
Cool. Yeah,
where every damn other scene is slow motion.
Just because somebody turning around and it's slow motion. Somebody picking up a piece of
somebody
trash,
like wiping a crust from their eye, slow mo.
So it was used with intention. You know, so I appreciate that. Anyway, enough from me.
Lava, what did you think about Blacula?
Not Brian just edited himself. Yep, go.
That's right. No, I'm rambled on enough.
I'm done. Moving on.
Okay, stick with me. Okay, my brain is about to go in a million places, so stick with me.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean,
all right, let me sit up for this. Let me stick with me on this.
I'm just gonna preface this by saying I have no apologies for choosing this film.
No, you don't have to.
Don't ever.
No, absolutely.
I feel like it's one of those movies you have to see.
Even if I didn't like something, stick with it. It's your choice. Like, I'm not okay, but just stick with me, right? Stick with me, right? Okay, so I like Janine. When I first heard the title, I was like, all right.
Goofy AF.
All right. I immediately thought I was about to get into it. Hey, Job, Turkey Man, what's a vampire? I thought
right.
Like that. If I'm being so
and
honest.
The taxi cab lady started kind of getting into that.
No, totally. Yeah.
But she was great.
But they kind of like symbolism. They kind of like cut her off.
But then she actually got scared, kind of reading like, this guy's not a normal guy.
Right.
This
isn't that kind of movie.
She was like, you know what? It's on me. You even got to worry about. Like, she just had to backtrack.
Go find your girl.
You know,
yeah.
So first, I thought it was gonna be like that. I thought it was gonna be a lot of Job, Turkeys, and Hey Man's brothers. I thought it was gonna be. I really did. But I was like so surprised to see just like a very well nuanced like film, a very like, okay, this is where we're at, this is where we're going, and this is how it ends. Like, it was just very like, we thought about this and we made our way. But can I say, I feel like this is what Twilight tried to do, Okay, stick with me. Stick with me.
Twilight.
My brain
Okay.
was moving.
What, in terms of him just like latching onto this woman and like getting her to just like
Yeah.
I really feel like this is what Twilight
I
was
mean,
trying to
I
do, but this
appreciated her
film-
being like, okay, I'll hear you out.
No,
Guys.
facts, but this film did it better, right? Okay, so
And he
like,
was suave. He's
like,
way suaver than
essentially,
Edward Cullen.
Oh, yeah.
way more suave. Okay,
Yes.
That
like,
voice.
so, like,
I mean, he's an African
Oh,
prince.
William Marshall. Yes.
Well, he is African prince. That's very true.
So,
And that cape, you know, so they couldn't let go
yeah.
of that cape.
Right?
I know.
They couldn't let go of that cape. But because like in Twilight, you see that like obviously he's a vampire. Obviously, there's a lure to him, so you're
Right.
going to be lured, right? But you don't get that in Twilight. I get that 1,000% in this film. She was scared at first, deservedly so. But then once she was able to like look him in the eyes, everything kind of calmed down.
Talk to him. Yeah.
Talk to him. You could see her slowly getting more like mesmerized.
He asked for
by
consent.
him.
Like,
You
I'm not
feel
gonna
me?
take you by force. Like, you have to like.
That's that
you
whole
have to,
vampire
like,
thing, right?
I will leave you alone.
Right. I will
Yes,
leave you alone.
you-
But think, like it was all these things. Like I really feel like this is where Twilight missed the mark because like I believed it way more with Blacula than I did with like this.
Right?
Like, way
Because it
more.
was quick, but it feels more
It was
believable.
quick, but
Yeah.
it felt normal. It felt authentic. It felt like it was. This was the natural
What's that
progression
cape?
of it. Go.
That
There's
cape
that cape,
a lot of
man.
work, man.
Listen,
The fact that
somebody-
they like clock vampires, but they're like, oh, we're not a man who just showed up out of nowhere.
He's just rocking a cape, though. Yeah.
It's the 70s. It's the 70s. They see worse.
I know. Exactly.
Because that one dude wanted to buy the cake.
Oh yeah, he was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he wanted
man,
it.
I love that cake.
So he could buy that cake. So like I was watching this and I was like, Twilight really missed the mark because
They could have.
this is what it looks like to have actors that can convey this type of attraction, this type of luring without it being like, all right,
Because it could have went easy
is she
into
a
like
prank?
parody or whatever.
Absolutely,
Like, they
and
took
it
it
just
seriously.
didn't go that way. Like they and like everybody seemed to like believe it. Everybody seemed to like, and that to me, when you believe it, I can see it on screen, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Twilight, they didn't believe it, so it's just one of those things. So like, I was watching.
You know,
this
she
and I
had
was
friends
like,
telling her like, this guy's crazy. Like, you can't be. You know, Bella didn't have no friends telling her like, this guy's weird. You know?
But they was telling her that she is, and she was still like, nah, it's fine. And so, so I was watching it like, okay, this is a more believable connection. I believe this connection. I believe that, like, especially when he was saying stuff to her like, there's nobody else but you. Like, I love you. I'm like, girl, I've been a vampire too. Like, let's sign me up. Like, at this point, this man saying all these beautiful things to me.
Yeah, she was.
She
already said,
willing.
I love you.
Like,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
She seemed
Slept
into
with
it.
him. She said,
like,
I love you. Like, she's all in.
Stay with me. I'm telling you, this Twilight watch. Captain Hardwick and all them watched Blacula, and they was just like, we just go try to put it into Twilight because he slept in a room with her. She didn't want to leave. Like it had moments where I was like, this is Twilight. This is Twilight. This is.
So you're saying Stephanie Meyer went and watched Blacula and then went, I'm gonna make sparkly vampires.
Stephanie Meyer watched a black vampire movie.
She watched Blacula and was like, I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went about her business.
How can I blend this up?
I like the fact I will say even from the 70s unto Twilight, they still can't get dead makeup correctly on black people. But anyway,
oh yeah,
no. That always because he looked like my man. He looked like Eddie Gatteki in Twilight. The second one, because in the first one they didn't put any kind of color on him. They just let him just be his natural tone.
But this one,
and the second one, they was like, put this little pale
make him
makeup
look
on.
pale. Yeah.
I said, what does he just look ashy at this point? It's like,
yeah.
I know we're not to the movie yet, but I think Sinners figured it out by just doing the eyes, right? Just do the eyes and call it good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I was like, okay, 70s. I don't read too much into it because it's the 70s. It's a black film, so I know the budget, money.
Like, because I mean, his vampire looked crazy. Just lose some hair on his face.
Exactly. They was just like, but as a person who watched so many vampire films, I just like the way that this went about. Like, because if you go to the Buffy, those vampires are like comical and like they're jokey.
There's a more physical transformation.
You know, it's. And then, but in this one, they seem to be very soulless, very mindless, very. I just want to eat, and I enjoyed that part of it very much. It wasn't. Even though like the prince had more of a control in a sense, but not really. Like he had control.
Well, he had 2 centuries to figure it out, stuck in that box. So,
I mean, but can you figure out anything stuck in a box and not really?
you know.
Like, so I just felt like because of his love for her.
He had something to pull his focus.
He had something to pull his focus as opposed to like any
just
other
mindless
vampire.
eating.
They were just mindless eating, and I thoroughly enjoyed that because like you don't really see that too much. I mean, it's not intense, but you don't really see that too much in like vampire TV shows and films. It's like they always give them some type of like heart or some type of like, you know, Thanos backstory where you kind of vibe with them the way that you're like, oh, they shouldn't.
Well, like,
purpose. Yeah, like I feel for you, you know, not doing. No. I want to see some mindless killing. I want to see some. I want to see some like some gross. Like I was eating some food when old girl was running down a thing screaming, and I was like, "Oh no, let me stop. Let me stop eating this. Let me watch that scene first.
See what's gonna happen.
That effect at the end was pretty great. Like
no, that's
the melting and the maggots. Yeah, but there's a Blacula scream sequel.
I know.
So,
like
I mean,
what?
With Pam Grier.
I know. Yeah, Scream or something.
And then old boy from Richard Lawson is in that too.
Oh, come on, Richard.
Yeah, he ends up I think becoming like his familiar who was in Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Yeah. Oh, come on, Richard Lawson. That's what I'm talking about. I see why you initially. I kind of wish we kept that pairing though. With Blacula and Vampire in Brooklyn, because there are a lot of elements from Blacula that's like in Vampire in Brooklyn with like the reincarnation, like the whole cop
him
thing,
kind of being this dignified,
like you know, like Vampire.
Must
so
I more Angela Bassett.
Come on,
she looks so pretty in that movie.
It looks nice, but I would have loved to see that pairing, not knocking Sinners at all or anything like that, but like I would have loved to see that pairing because it was very. I was watching it like, I should have kept that pairing.
Yeah, totally. It makes sense.
Yeah, that'd have been like a nice pairing.
See, that's why I asked, and because I didn't want to change the pairing, but I know Sinners has been on our list for a while. So.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not like a thing where
maybe
I'm
we should do Scream, Blacula, Scream, and Vampire in Brooklyn, and then we can bring back up Blacula. I don't know.
The sequel to it, you Scream, Blacula, Scream.
I'm not sure. The sequel gets the rating.
Yeah, it's not as good. It's not as good.
But we still should check it out, you guys. You watch The Room. There should be nothing off limits.
William Marshall is so great. He's still.
But I will say, what's her name? The Vanada McGee, who played the reincarnated. She played Luva
and Tina.
That's Carl Lumley's wife who passed away.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa. Yeah. So, you know, rest in peace to her and you know, pieces like to his family and everything, her family. And then Denise Nicholas, I love her. She's been in everything I've watched for so long. Like when I saw her face pop up, I was like, yo, she was in a different world. She was in Living Single. She was on different shows. Like, I've seen her in so many things like throughout my life. So like it was cool seeing her in this. Like, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It kind of makes me want to watch some more like Black PlayStation. Like,
and I liked her relationship with the doctor character.
Yeah, I like that. I liked that. I didn't know that they were
laughed when he asked her to sit down and she just like sits on his lap and like, all right, lay it on me.
Yeah, and like he asked her to go pick up a grave with him and she says no, but then he's like, okay, I'll do it, you know.
Lala brought up something in our chat that I thought was hilarious as well, and just the way the doctor dove after that.
He dove after
goes at him like really wonderful move.
Or even the cop like hesitating, he's like, "Oh hell no, I'm gonna throw this like whatever these lamp bombs."
Because to me,
I love how those kerosene lamps just lit on fire.
Spontaneously.
Talking about this entire time is what we would do if we were in situations like that.
Yeah.
There is no hesitation. We killing everybody until they stop moving. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'm a big fan of throw it. And I don't say it twice. I go do it myself. Like I actually want.
Oh, and it was a great shot too. He nailed that guy right in the center of the chest.
Yeah, I mean, great fire stunts happening in that whole sequence.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
And also,
there's some stuff in this.
You know what I'm saying? Like Michelle screaming for her sister because they stopped her instead of like.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And her being like, "That's my sister," and then her screaming at the grave like, "He's alive! You killed him! He's alive!" And like her not quite grasping.
And then him just giving up once he sees that. Yeah.
I didn't like that at first because I was like, "What do you mean kill? What are you talking about?" But I know he's a vampire. She didn't, and I liked that she didn't know, and she was like, "Why did you kill that man?" That is something you never see in movies. Like
and I
and he had to like explain it.
This film felt very vulnerable in a way, funny in a way, but then serious in a way. And it just kind of worked for me. Yeah.
Yes, I mean the funeral home guy like that.
Listen, that's
the rudest.
He was like, that's the
That was
rudest.
so funny. I like laughed out loud when he said that. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
I was laughing so hard, and I was like, I really feel like,
and the zoom and the push in.
Like,
yeah.
Like, oh my
God,
I felt like that was really specifically. Like, I feel like, of course, with that word, everybody knows it, so everybody.
Yeah, and they use the F slur as well to get some gate.
There's some definitely problematic stuff.
But I really feel like the way that he said it, the inflection, the look, I really feel like that was played with black people. That's what like I've seen my uncle look like that. I've seen like brothers and cousins like say stuff like that. I really felt like it was played stuff like that, but it was done in a way where everybody can just kind of like giggle.
So it felt like an honest moment.
Yeah. Yes. The way they like called all that attention to it.
Bro was rude in a mug. Like he was rude.
He's still talking to him. He just walks
direct.
out.
You are not wrong.
Like, he was very rude. So I was like, I ain't really mad at it. Smitty, what did you think of Blacula?
I mean, I can echo everything you guys have said, but what I thought was interesting is I really do enjoy Dracula and the like various iterations of it. So I'm sitting here watching this and seeing how they decided to keep some of the lore, but pluck it out and put it into this lore. So I love the change of, you know, he is an African prince and he's trying to end the slave trade, like, you know, saying what Brian said. I loved that. And the fact that Dracula was just like, well, what do you mean? I'm not, you know, he's just a fascist asshole.
He's hitting on his wife and trying to play that off as a compliment.
God.
Absolutely. And like I'll take your wife from you because that's a compliment. Yeah, all that crap. But then after that, once he makes him, dawns him Blacula, like gives him the name, which is almost like the name is terrible because it was given to him by a racist shit.
It's like almost like a harder that you just
Right. But then after that, we go into Mumwalde. I'm terrible with his name.
Mama Walde.
Becoming a Dracula-like character in that he has the same lore, where he goes to sleep, wakes up, and finds his love, just like Mina. And you have Luva basically taking the Mina character and him. It's a tragic gothic horror story. Like it really is still that true to the nature of Bram Stoker's Dracula gothic love story.
And in a way, there is kind of a Van Helsing.
Yes, the doctor is Van Helsing, right? Which I loved as well. There's that element. So they took the baseline and then added it here and gave it the flavor that they wanted, which is fantastic because
her name's Tina instead of Mina.
Right. It's almost exact in that way, in like close, but it's still enough of a difference. And her being drawn to him and not knowing why works because there's something about Dracula that pulls people in. And then of course he has that same, and he's an old vampire, so he's been around for a couple centuries. So it's not like he's a young vampire because age in vampirism matters depending on the lore. But I liked it. So I didn't expect to like it. I thought it was going to be just exactly like Lala described it, like jive turkeys galore.
Pimps and like this.
I was
killing
like,
pimps and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Everybody slapping everybody left and right. Boy.
No, he like genuinely like killed people, and I have to say it was interesting to see this strong, just capable black man just killing cops. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's like nice to see in that era some redemption to a degree for the people of that era. Like they get to go and it's a little cathartic and go, okay, all right, and we get to go the other way.
And the thing too, it wasn't just like that was the focus, you know what I mean? Like, like he wasn't just, you know what I mean? Like
he was killing everybody, like he was indiscriminate about it.
But there is some symbolism there, but they could have leaned in and just been totally like, no,
honestly,
focus.
I agree with Brian. I kind of wanted, because of the whole slave trade talk in the beginning, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like that's very interesting. And then for that to backfire, which it usually does. So for that to backfire,
for him to maybe like look at like, oh wow, look how the world has changed or something.
No, right? I
wanted
wanted that a little bit. Like I wanted him to kind of be like, yo, this is like this is not the world I left. This is a different world. I'm in a club and it's like black people and white people. Like I wanted him to, I kind of wanted him to acknowledge that. Used to like all these vampire movies now, but I kind of wanted him to have like a little autonomy with his vampirism, only because as a human he was very like he's a prince and he's very like strong-willed, and I wanted that to cut the vampirism a little bit, and for him to have. I mean, it did when it came to Tina, but like not in just life in general. Like, you know what I mean?
His
like,
moral compass got turned off almost once
he wasn't freaked out about like cars.
Right? He got hit by one. Not even like
that was like, he did not care about anything. Like,
no,
he was
I'm
just
like,
ready.
No, totally. Like, we got
or
like
even
helicopters,
freaked out, or even because he
Really?
ended up hearing the words of Dracula, right? So like, you know that this man not only killed you, but he left your woman there to die, just
to watch you and hear you screaming in your coffin.
Kind of part of me was like, the first time he bit somebody, which I mean, it was the two guys, which whatever with them, but I mean, like when he ended up biting the girl, because like when he woke up, he's like new to it, like he automatically needs blood.
Yeah, and the guy had cut his arm, so he's feeling the blood.
So he's like now he's like in a rage. I get that, but when he killed the woman, I kind of wanted him to have like a moment where like he saw himself as Dracula, something that he didn't, because essentially like this, if we're breaking it down, this white man cursed you for doing a good thing,
right?
And so I wanted him to kind of like feel and understand that curse. But again, this is 1972. I'm not going to. But
they want to have a bit of a guilt kind of thing, and like they give him like a plausible reason for killing the photographer. Like she has that picture of him where you can't see him, so he's got to get that picture from her. So there's a reason. So like like if he maybe had more of a reason for his kills and they were more like that, and he did still kind of have that moral compass, I think that would have played a lot better.
Now you're talking about a 2-hour movie though, and like
action 30. Extra 20 or something, you know, it wouldn't have hurt.
You could probably get it done in 10 minutes. Add that more.
I mean, movies in the 70s generally have a slower pace.
True.
Anyway, so it probably would have, but also like I'm sure they had budget constraints.
Absolutely,
obviously.
I mean, I enjoyed everything about it. When he talked to the guy, when they were like, he's up doing the thing or whatever, and they were like in the warehouse, and he literally just
throwing barrels at the guy.
Threw a dude down the stairs.
He just threw a whole human at like the stairs. I was like, I'm here for everything.
Just throwing barrels at the guy. Yeah,
like he was just like,
yeah. Oh my god.
I thought it was great.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts at all about Blacula before we rate and move on to Sinners? Because I do want to give us plenty of time for Sinners. Or it doesn't sound like it. So we're going to start in the same order. Janine, what do you rate Blacula?
I mean, it's faults and it's positives. I love this movie, how it moved the culture, its significance. William Marshall, I wish he would have done more things. He got to be the king of cartoons on Pee-wee's Playhouse, but he was also blacklisted for a while, but he was brilliant in this film. I loved all his gravitas, his voice, his, how he carried himself. I love this movie, so I give it an 8.5.
8.5. All right, Brian.
Nice. It's going to be a 7 for me only because like the significance, but then like the cinematography.
Oh yeah, and the sound quality, not great. I totally get it.
Sorry.
Filled up and then drained back out.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Lala. What does it feel like? 6.5?
Everything people said, I enjoyed everything. Actually, I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5.
Oh,
all right. There we go.
I would watch this again. I will watch it. And I just want to watch the sequel just to see how bad it is.
Yeah. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not as good as this one.
I mean, they tried to like elevate it with Pam Grier. Like,
Pam Grier and lean into it a little bit more. Yeah.
But does it have a lot more of the like what you would expect from this genre of film?
I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it does kind of lean a little bit more into that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
But at this point, I'd like to get some comparison. I like to see a few
like
others,
Richard Lawson ends up kind of being his familiar and kind of becomes out of control. And I think
a familiar even. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
so we bring in Renfield and
somebody who's like a seer or like a tarot. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's been a while.
So there's a Roger Corman movie I watched with Vincent Price. I don't know, late last year. At this point, I don't remember what it was called. But I don't think any movie's ever going to be worse than that one because it was really, really, really bad. And so I kind of keep comparing everything to it.
To that.
And comparing Blacula to that, Blacula is a masterpiece. Like it is phenomenal. But no, there's a lot of really great stuff here. I can see the cultural significance. I can see some great acting. I really do think that the whole story works. William Marshall's voice is mesmerizing. He could have also done radio, and it would have been phenomenal. Yeah, I'll give this a 7. I think this is worth watching again, especially if it's with somebody who's never seen it. You'd be like, sit down, you're going to watch Blacula with me. We're going to check this out. And just to see the reactions, I think it would be a blast to watch somebody watch this. So yeah, there we go. We have now seen Blacula on the Reel Study. We are going to move on to Sinners, which is, of course, the Ryan Coogler film starring twice over Michael B. Jordan, as well as many other amazing people, including Delroy Lindo, who is one of my all-time favorites.
Secret British person.
Say it again.
Secret British person.
He's British?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
He has a British accent.
Do you have an accent?
No, well,
okay.
he was born there. He lived there until he was a teenager.
Roomy.
Yeah, but he was born there. He's still British, and he lived there until like his teenage years.
Oh,
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I did not know. And there's Janine with her trivia. She's always bringing it. I know we've all seen this multiple times. Like, there's not even a question. So why don't we go in pseudo reverse, and we'll start with Lala. What do you think of Sinners?
I love Sinners, man. There's nothing that came out in 2025 for me that beats Sinners. Like, Sinners will be the top for me. And I'm not saying good things didn't come out in this year, but nothing is Sinners for me. Sinners takes the cake. Sinners are going to be up here for me in 2025, and everything else comes very close to each other in the list of things. I'm always a little trepidatious when they're like, it's twins. Because sometimes they don't do that right.
You weren't a fan of the Double Mint gum commercials back in the day? You might be too young.
I thought they were real twins.
Yeah.
1,000%.
The Parent Trap?
Parent Trap, yeah. But I mean, that's a moment where, like, it's kind of rough. You can kind of see some rough. Like, the Lindsay Lohan one was great because it's the way they filmed that. And to me, this one topped that. With the way that they did things, especially with the passing of the cigarette, I was like, okay, y'all.
I know, that drives my brain insane.
I said, I'm here for, if you watch the behind the scenes stuff, the rig that they have Michael B. Jordan on to like be able to film those scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. Twin consultant. They had consultants for everything.
Yes. And it shows in the film. But to be quick about it, I love this film. I love it from just a pure horror standpoint of a film, like bloody and amazing and what it looks like. I love it from a cultural standpoint of reaching back through generations. Like, if you look at during slavery, music is what got us through a lot of things. Music is what kept us like moving, kept us going. So like to have that displayed here, like that one scene is like probably the greatest and most talked about scene of this film is when he's singing and you can see the different ancestors from different years, different eras come up. I felt like them blending that music together was just seamless and beautiful. I love I love the characterization in this. I love the colors in this. I love that Smoke is more cool because he wears blue. He's more, as a military man, like he wears blue. He's a little bit more focused, he's a little more cool. Whereas Stack isn't. Stack is wearing red. He's more passionate. He's more fly by night. I got it. I'll figure it out. Like, I love the distinction.
Got fiery personality.
Right? I love the distinction between those two characters. I love what Michael B. Jordan brought to these two characters because they don't even sound the same. Like, they do because they're brothers and they're twins, but they don't sound the same.
And Smoke even feels like he looks bigger.
Right.
Somehow.
He looks like
they have the same body, but
but they don't at the same time. And so like this whole film for me was just, I watched it in the theater so many times. Like, I think I've seen it like 3 times in the theater. Bought it when it first came out. Like, I was like, I got to get it on digital. Like immediately, I got to put more money into Ryan Coogler's hands. Like, I just
you bought this at full price.
My little $24.99, whatever did it do? I hope it do something nice because like I had to go buy the digital. But I like watching what's her name, Wumi Masaka, watching as a plus size Black woman.
Yeah.
Just get to be a woman on screen for me as an actor was amazing to see her be relished and loved
and desired. Yeah, all of that.
and it wasn't
and trusted.
And trusted. Like, absolutely. And to not have her be like she's a woman that stands up for herself. She's not like, I'll take whatever you give me just because. She's like, no, this is who I am. This is what I do. Like, don't even get me started on like the audio. The audio, when it, like different moments when the audio comes in, like when she's like when she's talking to him about like, you know, how do you know all the roofs that I didn't do for you and your brother kept y'all out? You can hear the audio when it sounds like magic is happening in the background, like air.
Yeah, even like her match flicks, like matching the
beat
yeah.
of the guitar. Like when they're in the car and Slim is telling his story, but you could hear
that entire thing.
Hear the whole story happening.
Like, I know movies,
and then he turns his anguish into a song. Yeah,
he created the blues like right in that moment.
That's his pain, because that wasn't scripted. That was just Delroy Lindo, and that was Michael B. Jordan being like, play something. Like, that scene is improv. Like, I felt like magic was happening on this scene, in this film. I felt like everybody could feel it. I felt like every person that was cast perfectly. I did a review to this, and I'll come out on. I've already said it on my TikTok page, but I'll do it again. I did a review on this, and I talked about Haley Steinfeld, and I talked about her race, the race of the character, especially because it was during a time in our climate where Black people got touched on for any type of role that they did that was originally a white character, even if it didn't have anything to do with their race or anything like that. How dare you flip this white character to be a Black character? It's a terrible character.
It still happens.
It is, absolutely. And this was like very much at the height of it. So I pointed out that, you know, Haley is a white woman, but also I was like, anybody correct me if I'm wrong. She's still white, but she does have the same ethnicity as the character in which she's playing.
Identical as far as I
know. So like, I got corrected on that, and I already came out on my Instagram, was like, oh, okay, I understand this now. She's playing this character. I'll come out again. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. Again, I never said it detracted from her performance, because I thought she did an amazing job. I just thought it's something that should be pointed out, because it's never pointed out when it's like the other shoe on the other foot and things like that. But I just wanted to come out again and say that. But I thought Haley did an amazing job to kind of watch her go from like True Grit to this, like kind of watch her career kind of go from. And I know every guy in America was going crazy because she's spitting in people's mouths, she's talking all.
Oh yeah,
like
people were all crazy.
She's talking pretty dirty in this
talking
movie,
about that.
No, you know, they was losing their minds over that. Personally, that withstanding, I personally thought her performance was so strong, so mature, so in the moment, because like I don't think a lot of people notice that like she switches up her, which leads to like the
whole code switching,
the whole code switching, the whole dichotomy of the privilege in which she has that she doesn't see when she's around, because she essentially grew up with Black people. And that's a thing that happens in modern day, that, you know, you'll have white kids that grow up around Black kids, and then like you kind of take on some of that quote unquote Blackness, and it just doesn't sit correctly, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. Like the scene where she's like she comes into the club, and Sammy is like, I don't think you should be here. She was like, boy, get out of my face. Only white people call Black people boy as a disrespect. They don't call them boy as like a, so like you disrespected him because you could, but then
until you found out who he was,
who he was related to, then it's like, oh my God, let me buy you a drink. It's the immediate, like, I can harm you, but I don't want to. And I don't. It's so subtle. I don't think people notice it. I don't think people see it or even care about it. You could see it like even in our Asian characters in the film. You could see it with Grace and her husband, with them being in two separate stores. One's a white store, one's a Black store. You see that her husband's a little bit more like down with the culture. Grace is not. At the first sign of trouble, the first thing she wanted to do was leave people to their own devices and not be there. And the moment she felt like she had nothing to lose, she sold out everybody else in that barn for her own. Again, I won't knock her for the most part. She felt as though her child was in danger, which if we call him spade a spade, she wasn't, because he was very focused on Sammy. Nobody was leaving until they got Sammy, but she don't know that. So,
right.
But I get it. But she was to not think of a plan and to egg on somebody like, wasn't you in the military? Wasn't you supposed to shoot down people? We don't know what's happening. Let's come up with a plan.
Right.
Before we open these doors.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling the way that you're feeling, which I can't. Again, I'm not in that situation. I can't knock how she's feeling, but I
would have invited him in. I'm just saying, if my kid was out there,
but now
I
your
would have
kid
done exactly.
is doubly alone.
No, I know, because I don't agree with her then attacking her husband and burning herself to death. I have a big problem with that.
I have a problem with it all, because she could have
But I still
people read that
put myself in her shoes there.
No, they do. If they read it, people read that, like, that's been a contention online with like people.
It is. No, that's a huge one.
Which I'm cool with. Like, how you feel is how you feel. How I feel is how I feel.
How you saw it is
How you saw it, because we both watch it with our eyes. Like, I have no problem. Like, But me, I just see it as like, let's think of something. Like, these are
not jump the gun on this.
This is not like your normal shoot 'em up, bang bang. They're gone. Like, it has to be strategic, and in it not being strategic, everybody pretty much died. Like, everybody, not pretty much everybody died.
Yeah.
Everybody but Sammy.
But Sammy, like, everybody died. And the only people that are alive is maybe Sammy's family and a few people from town who went to church that Sunday. But for the most part, everybody is gone. But I talked enough. I love this film. I could talk about it forever. I'm gonna pull a Brian on to the next one.
In fact, the perfect segue. Brian, what do you think of Sinners?
It's incredible. I mean, the cinematography. Let's just talk about that. Since I pretty much tore into Blackula's cinematography.
It's the opposite, right? One is phenomenal and one
extreme.
Is
It's like
one's apples, one's plums.
It's
and it's history making cinematography as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's Autumn Doral Arkapaw, which she's. One of the things I love about Ryan Coogler too is, like, I think he's pretty much used only women DPs in all of his from day one. Like, from Fruitvale Station on, he's used women DPs, and her stuff is actually. She shot Loki. That whole
nice.
season 1 Loki was beautiful.
Loki is beautiful.
And so this stuff is like incredible, and she's doing stuff, that is like cutting edge. So it's just a beautiful film to look at, of course, and the performances are just like, Delroy Lindo is one of those actors. You put him. Look at Gone in 60 Seconds. That movie without Delroy Lindo is, it's just like, all right.
He kind of adds this little bit of elevation.
Yeah, he always adds something. Like, he's one of those actors.
He's better because of Delroy Lindo.
Yeah. And every scene he's in this is just like, I'm like hanging on every, like, the way his cadence, his voice, like the way he's just like, read me an encyclopedia, like in Delroy Lindo voice. Like, I love it. He's excellent. And like, I don't know why he's not in more things too. Like, it seemed like there was like a gap of time where we didn't see,
where he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. So I love that he was in this. It was like a perfect role, I think, for him too.
I hope he gets some recognition. He definitely has a career that has earned that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love The Core because of Delroy Lindo. Like, people hate that movie, and I absolutely adore it because it's him and Stanley Tucci that like bring that movie to another level.
Like, there's a movie called A Life Less Ordinary. It's a Danny Boyle movie, and he's in it. I absolutely
he plays an angel.
Yes, so good.
Yes. It's him and Holly Hunter, right? And then of course Ewan McGregor and Cameron Diaz.
And Stanley Tucci.
And Stanley Tucci, that's right.
You have to watch Crooklyn. That's one of my favorite Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
This is now the real Delroy Lindo study. We're going to talk about only Delroy Lindo from now on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Do you guys know he was British?
I didn't know that.
And then he moved to Canada.
Yeah,
I've learned it twice. I don't know which it is.
Jamaican parents.
Jeez. But yeah, and I mean, Michael B. Jordan, you know, it's pretty uncanny what he was able to do.
Yeah, that undertaking.
Yeah, because they really do display a good way of like yeah, they're twins, but they've also had different experiences. You know what I mean? And like even their perspectives, you know, like you mentioned, one of them thinks they're bigger than the other one. You know, there's this whole, and they just have very different worldviews, even though they're twin brothers, identical twins.
Yeah.
Like
look at the women they love. That totally kind of shows like how different they are.
Yeah. And like La mentioned, I'm gonna mess up her name, that actress.
Wumi Masaka.
Yeah. She's incredible. Like I feel like she was like already, I mean, she was in oh dang it, when my brain's not working. But Country? Yes, Lovecraft Country. So she already had like a background in this kind of world, you know, which felt very much like she easily
just put her up and just dropped her.
Yeah. Like love seeing her. She's excellent in everything. Also in Loki, so she's worked with this DP before, you know, ironic, but
EVS, I think, as
well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm missing people like, and the music, of course. Like, I mean, that's going to be an iconic. Yeah, it's going to go down in history as like one of the most iconic scenes in film history. I mean, I don't even know how he did that.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tried to recreate that. And I wonder how to create that, because to blend that old school with like hip hop and then to kind of bring it to an Asian feel, because they end up making it like it was
tribal drums.
Like it was just,
and like how much of that was practical, you know,
that versus down, like
digital, like just like I mean, it's amazing, and just like all the like other deeper layers that it has. You know, like you really feel like when he faces off with that white what was he, like
the Ku Klux Klan, the Grandmaster at the
end?
Like,
man,
Hardwig or whatever.
Hogwood, I think.
Hogwood, there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, but even that scene, like if you think about it, like just the nuances of that, like really, because I've watched it so many times, really paying attention to it. Like when they're in there and they're like, oh, okay, this place is nice or whatever. He was like, so what you wash these floors with? Did he end up spitting on the floors? That's because
spitting on the floor, calling them boys.
No, totally.
Really undermining them at every turn. Yeah.
The very first thing he does when he meets them is spit.
Yeah.
The very first thing he does.
Yeah. So if you've killed black people in there before, and what you clean the walls with was like floors with was black people. Because you never
insinuating they can't afford it, like just all these little digs.
That's a very interesting scene in itself. He's like, oh, the Klan don't exist no more. Yes, they do. Come on now.
Like, totally lying about that.
Yeah, and y'all brothers, no, we cousins. Like let's not. Why we
let's not like play into his own games.
I also have to mention, like, it hasn't been mentioned yet, but Jack O'Connell.
He's so great.
Yes.
He was excellent. Another well cast role. He was just, I mean, he is like full on Irish, and he's doing like all that stuff himself. Like he knew how to do the dance and all that kind of stuff. Like
he said he grew up doing it because that's like a class they take. And he was really scared about singing, but he did a really good job.
Oh, God, I know. Yeah.
Which is he's trying to be the new Ben Mendelsohn. Like he's stacking up the villains.
I know.
He didn't tell Ryan he could do it, so he just brought it out during filming, and everybody kind of lost their minds.
And
I love that too from an actor, just being like, "I'm gonna hold this and see what happens."
Yeah. But he's so menacing in this without like overdoing it. You know, there's a lot of like fear that he builds there. Another thing too I'll mention about this film was like the pacing. It builds, like it's slow, like in the beginning. Like it takes its time, you know, because there's a lot of stuff going in there. And then it's like
off to the races.
It just kind of like takes off, like and it's just intense.
But I love that. I love the pacing of this though.
For sure.
I love the pacing of this because I was attached to everything. I was like, okay, I want to know about these brothers. I want to know about their cousin. I want to know about the cousin and his father, because like everything was so strong. Everything was kind of like cemented so strong. Everybody,
I think it's smart setting in that time
smokestack
too.
twins, the fear that people felt like
about them. Yeah, like I had this kind of wondering, were Sammy's father and their father twins? Like, you know, he says he's older, but twins still kind of designate one as older and younger.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
I think it was a good, like a smart move too, to like set it in this period as well. Like because there's so much to play with there. As far as like culturally and like what's going on.
Yeah, like the Choctaw, we see them for a little bit, but we're still kind of curious about them.
Oh man, I would watch a whole movie about Choctaw vampire hunters. Like
vampire
I would
hunters,
watch that
hell
movie.
yeah.
I would watch that.
That scene is interesting too, because when he flies in literally.
Yeah.
So when he flies in and he's to the door, he's like the Choctaw, like he's being like honest with them.
Like
the moment he sees the Ku Klux Klan like get up, the moment they say engine,
he's wearing his ring so he can be like, my wife, they killed my wife, you know.
Yeah.
Poor white woman, they killed a white woman in this time to even kind of
he flips his script, like he code switches
totally
to get in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it's such a it's layers on layers of
also, they had a crib in there. Like, what happened to that baby? Like, was there a baby? Did they lose the baby? They saw the crib.
Crib. We don't know.
Yeah.
What's interesting to some degree about Remick is he's not usually lying. He's usually telling the truth, which is what's wild about
his
him.
truth.
Right, but he's still the information he's giving is factual. He may be twisting it, but he's still they're all using factual information in order to manipulate people.
But he's been around for a long time too. He's been around for a long time.
Well, he took forever to die, so I would imagine.
He was like, you know, he talked about the Irish rebellion or something like that. He talked about something about how we used to be, you know. I was like, oh, he's been alive
for a
long time.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, that's why his nails was like that. He had them Soulja Boy hands.
Janine, tell me what you think about Sinners.
Yeah, I mean,
if I can't talk.
Like Law said, there's so many things to look at and to pick up on and to feel from this movie. I saw it as a masterclass in show not tell. Like, we kind of know the time period we're in, but they show us so many things without kind of harping on this is the history of this time period. We're seeing the wooden nickels, we're seeing the segregated grocery stores, we're seeing the sharecropping, we're seeing like the prison labor, all kind of things happening at the time. So I loved kind of just showing us things and leaving us to kind of like let that sit in the background while we kind of focus on the characters and the story. Just so many smart little things, like even at the end when Smoke is dying, and she tells him, put out that cigarette. I don't want any smoke to get on the baby. It's kind of her telling him he can leave that smoke persona behind now. At the end, I think I saw Ryan Coogler talking about, him with that machine gun, and you hear the guitar. That's his solo. That is his guitar solo. That is his musical moment in the film. Just so many cool little things like that. Also kind of, I saw this layer as these Black men being able to kind of express their emotions, tell the woman they love that they love them, tell each other that they love each other, and that's such kind of a stigma for Black men to even kind of express their emotions and things
especially
like
back
that.
then.
Yes, so I loved
also to have the women reciprocate that, right? Because a lot of Black men now feel like when I express my feelings, they're just telling me I'm wrong, or they're making fun of me, or they're laughing. But to have two women, vocal, paying attention,
or this kind of gay panic that like, oh, I can't express my feelings,
I can't say
or whatever. Exactly. So getting to see like these men being secure enough to be able to express those kinds of emotions and knowing kind of
and say I love you, like that's beautiful.
And so being able to see that, I mean, I loved all the kind of sex positive stuff. We have 3 canonical eaters in this movie. So, that is
the
always
description.
So thank you, Ryan. Yeah,
without getting too weird, the description of his licking the ice cream was
the whole
masterclass. Like
because also that's also the thing with Black
you just
men who,
invented a
kind
new
of
term.
What?
Canonical eater.
Canonical eater. 100%.
That's gonna be something someone can Google, and there's gonna be like, oh yeah, there's only canonical eaters.
Yes, I was
We're
trying
gonna
to find the
watch all
most
these
nuanced
movies.
way
Right.
Yeah.
to talk about
This
it.
movie does not have any canonical eaters. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I appreciated like those conversations and that we have characters who, we talk about those things. We appreciate those things. We adore our women in this history.
Right.
So I loved all that aspect. Of course, the music is incredible. And the storytelling behind all of that. Just a brilliant movie. There's so many things to look at and talk about and think about and feel that you guys touched on perfectly. So yeah,
this could be a movie that you could write a literal paper about because you could do it in a nuanced way to get multiple
absolutely
descriptions, scene by scene. Actually, you sent us the 100 Easter eggs of Superman, and I would love to see a 2-hour breakdown of this movie in that same way. I think that would be really cool to see it.
Sure,
in that way.
Dead Meat. I always talk about Dead Meat, but they actually did a really great podcast episode where Chelsea, she like cited a bunch of things like this. I think as a Vanity Fair journalist wrote a really insightful article about it. So they touch on his points that as they talk through the film. So it's a really they deep dive pretty well into their conversation about this movie and bring up a lot of things that maybe not a lot of people have noticed. So yeah.
I want to say one thing about the marketing, at least the trailer. I don't feel this is one of those times where I don't feel like the trailer does the film justice because the film is so good. Like it's like how do you do that? You know, maybe where a lot of times
I think they did a good job of holding a lot to the vest and not showing as much. But then also it's like people are going into what is this movie?
No, because a lot of people didn't know that this was a vampire movie.
You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be like From Dusk Till Dawn in that way.
I love that. I love that you kind of walked in and was like, wait. Why is bro on flames? Like, why is he flamed up? Like, why is he burning?
Right?
If you're a person that watches this stuff enough, you're like, yo, is he? No, he ain't no vampire. Is he a vampire? And then when you find out he's a vampire, it's like you're blamed.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And an element I also loved was kind of the almost B movie feeling aspect of the exaggerated blood spurts and stuff like that. You know, I thought that was so fun. It felt,
or even the burning people, like they burned up really fast,
like old monster movie, like 60s and 70s kind of horror films. Yeah, so I liked that aspect. Despite everything kind of feeling so grounded, we are dealing with a supernatural film, so I like kind of having that campy, like crazy blood spray to kind of remind us that we are also, telling an elevated story, but this is also a monster movie.
Fantastical world.
The lore behind it is great too, because it's like just killing one ain't gonna do nothing. Even if you kill the one that turned them and don't do anything, I love that aspect because a lot of people, that's a cop out for a lot of people. Let's save people by if you kill the werewolf that bit you. You won't be a werewolf anymore. Like I don't.
Yeah, they set up those rules.
Well, and she makes the distinction between the types of supernatural creatures, and it's like if this were this, we could do it.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I think this is what's happening here.
Right.
And like you said with Blacula, Sniddy, just I think the vampire is a fun character to really play with, kind of those little tick box of lore. It kind of changes from film to film. So I love, what Blacula kind of chose to pick out of that lore, not being able to see him and things like that. I loved what kind of they picked for the lore in this. The garlic, I mean, the religious stuff wasn't really an issue because, when they're saying the Lord's Prayer at the end, it's not really affecting them in any way.
He's like, I love that. What are you doing?
Exactly. Yes, but the garlic like, and then permission to be let in and those kinds of things. I like what they, picked and chose to apply to their vampires.
I thought of Louis from Interview with the Vampire during the Hallowed Be Thy Name moment, because he's like, what do you think of crucifixes? He's like, I'm fond of crucifixes. I mean, they're kind of nice looking. But I also like that they included silver, which is something that seems to be missing from the last 30 years of vampire
I think people
lore.
always apply that to werewolves more,
right.
I think.
And never silver.
Although like Blade, it's in Blade quite a bit.
That's a fair point. It's just not. It's not overly saturated the way it should be, in my opinion. I want to watch this again, like right now, because when I got done, I was teary eyed. I was very moved because it not only it's a great horror movie, it really is, but it's also just a great movie talking about the human condition and what it means to be mortal. And there's an element that, and Lindo's character does a great job of this. He literally is like, I will sacrifice myself for all of you. And does. And he quite literally cuts his arm and it's like starting and he's like, come here,
and the
fuckers.
fact that like he's just asking for Sammy, he'll let everyone live, but they will refuse to give him up. You know, and on this watch, what I noticed that I don't think I really picked on as much is that both Smoke and Stack found a way to be with their loves forever. In their own way. Just once again kind of distinguishing the differences between them.
But also like in the way like symbolically in the way that they've been wanting to, like kind of since the beginning of this story, because like Stack's character, he wants to live with her freely.
So it's very significant in the mid credits when she's able to kind of put her arm around him and walk out of the place.
Yeah, because it's now the 90s, so it's not.
I want to see that.
Have the power,
right?
This 90s.
Nobody. Because he said that the only reason they aren't together is because he doesn't want her to get hurt.
Was worried for her and how she's going to move through the world with him.
They're in a position where it doesn't matter what century, what time we're in. I can always protect you. You can always be together. And Smoke's seen a lot in the war. He already came back.
He's done. He's ready to be with his baby, to be with her.
He's ready to be with his child. He's ready to be with her. So that was his final goal. So it was just very symbolic that they both got to
be with them in the way they wanted.
Although I have some headcanon where those two, we're in the 90s now. Blade exists in the 90s. So I'm thinking
they're going to those blood raves.
Yeah. They're in for
they're toast then. They
are not into the music at all. They hate
probably not.
No, why would they make it very clear? They would have been into blues, like underground, something or other. I just don't see Stack in there. I just don't.
So good.
And could we call that movie the 90s movie Stack and Mary? I don't know why I like just their names together as one title. I think it could be great.
But Dead Meat Podcast, they brought up a good point too. Like this would be the kind of last time they could really easily hide because there's not all of that kind of technology. So what are they going to do kind of a couple decades from this point that we last see them?
You just pull the Cullens. You just leave and go somewhere
just
else.
like, go hide somewhere.
Just move across the country to different places. Interesting. Yeah, the music. I know everybody said music, but I there's something. I think the one piece of music, and I agree with you, Lob, that moment where they're in the juke and they're going through all the time periods is brilliant. But the one that got me, that just stuck with me, was Sammy in the car with Stack on the way to and he looks over, and he's like, whoa, like he just I felt that too. I was like, damn, like who is this kid? Like what? No wonder he's bringing the devil. Like this will draw everybody. Like so. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant
which
stuff.
also plays beautifully into kind of that last little bit of, before the sun went down, that was the best day. And I love getting to see that. Yes. And all those conversations about freedom. Everyone's trying to find a way to be free. And it's again, like they're showing us the world that we're living in. And even though, they're not slaves or anything, there's still this lack of freedom for all of them.
I mean, but think about exactly the whole reason why Remick was able to find Sammy is because he's been looking for freedom too. He's been wanting to find his ancestors and relive that and have that freedom again. But this is, I always think about this. I should just do a whole story or something about this. I always think about this too. Like for Remick, who has been alive for so long and seen racism, probably seen how he's probably eaten people and gotten the memories of stuff they've done and all this life he's lived and the life that he's stolen. He still went about it in a way that was reminiscent of what people have done to him in his past, right? So essentially you become what you've been through in a sense, right? So because
there's some great parallels about the racism faced by Irish people and Black people.
He's like, I want your stories. So don't take my stories from me. So don't take my life. Just let me share with you, right? And so I feel
he's so offended when they insinuate that he's racist.
He's like, I'm not racist. But you're moving like a racist in the sense that you want to take my life and take my gifts when I can just freely share them with you. I can freely. I can play what you want me to play, baby. I can play. I take requests. You don't have to take my gift. You don't have to take my life to make your life better. You want us all to be together, but you want us to be together underneath your rules, how you want it, how you say it. And like I said, this film got layers, baby. And anybody
so many layers.
Don't like this film, you gotta look at things. Something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
something else I learned. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Something else I had learned from that podcast episode was that the term mulatto came out of the term mulatto actually came out of unions and children born of Black and Irish people.
Yeah.
Irish couples. So, yeah.
I want to touch on Stack's moment. You guys had already mentioned this, but the moment where he said, yeah, that was the best day. And from Stack's perspective, obviously from Sammy's perspective, like he got to be truly free. He said it was a great night. He was so excited to continue to do that for the rest of his life, which he did attempt, but I don't think he ever hit that same mark again. Yeah. But Stack, you can clearly tell he's not happy in his immortality, because if that was his best day, he's never had a good day as a vampire. And I think that's an interesting thought, that that immortality, while appealing to a mortal like ourselves, does it really mean that you would be happy, or will you just get to watch everybody you love die and watch everything you know disappear into something new?
And I love that Sammy says no to that.
Living life is what's more important. Even for an immortal person, that life was what he's grasping onto. So
that he says, like, it's the last day I saw my brother, it's the last day I saw the sun.
He was sitting there Perlene. That girl say his life. Okay.
Oh yes, when his bar is named Perlene, or his band. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that girl. But listen, y'all had one night, and that girl saved your life. Okay,
right?
You better name a future child after
her. He did good with that lesson. He did good with that lesson. So that was enough.
That boy listened.
All right. We are going to go over time if we're not careful here. So why don't we rate Sinners as much as we could easily go for another hour on this movie, I think, breaking it scene by scene. But we won't do that. We'll leave it to you guys to pull some for yourself, or go watch one of those ridiculous breakdowns, which I'm going to go track one down after this. So we'll go the same order. Lala, what do you rate Sinners?
I just want to say one more thing before I rate it. So,
sure.
I just want to say one more thing. I love the fact that even like the death of Stack, essentially, because like he is himself, but he's not himself at the same time. Mm-hmm. They still had a connection as twins, to the point that he was like, listen, leave him alone. Like, let him live his life. But just go leave. And he actually listened.
He listened, yeah.
And there's also a theory that at the end of the film, when the Grandmaster shows up trying to kill what he thinks is going to be like the twins, or everybody else is going to be there, there's a theory that Stack is still in the barn, because during this time it's lights up. Even though you see Mary runs off into the woods, like she runs off because Stack takes her. He runs off, and remember, Stack comes back and he's fighting his brother at that end stage. And there's a theory that the reason why the doors are locked is because Stack's actually in there. And if you think about it, what's his name? Slim might also be in there too, because he never comes outside the barn. Like, I know he got ate up, but I mean, I would assume that he got turned into a vampire too, because he's a vampire.
And he wouldn't have come outside. Ooh, Slim is a vampire canonically.
So Slim is still a vampire canonically, essentially, and they're both still locked in there because he locked the doors and let them stay in there. But that's a theory that I heard. So
no, I like this theory. This is wonderful headcanon, because this literally means that Stack came out that night and buried Smoke so that he could rest. I like that a lot, actually.
I just want to throw that out there. Also, for Sinners, my vote is a 10, baby. This is 10.
A rare Lala 10.
It's beautifully acted, beautifully filmed. Cinematography, as Brian was saying, is amazing. The shots of the brothers against the sun is an amazing scene. Watching Remick die and that swirl, it was very anime, which I know Ryan Coogler loves anime. Him and
did it look like he was happy to see the sun right before he died to anybody else?
Yeah, I can go for that, because he ain't seen the sun either unless it's part of the monster behind him. He's trying to outrun it.
And he was kind of like, well, I'm dying, but oh damn, there it is one last time.
Yeah. I give it a 10.
10. Brian?
It's a 10.
Just 10.
Straight to the point.
Janine?
Just props again to Ruth E. Carter, working with him again on some amazing costumes. Yes, 10.
Documentary on her too. Put Ruth E. in my clothing documentary.
Right?
Documentary.
Yeah.
We didn't even touch much. Like, we did a little bit, but I do love the blue and the red they picked. Was like
And it speaks to also them infiltrating different organizations because like one is like, was trying to with the Irish. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because one had the fedora-ish hat, and the other one was wearing.
Yeah. So it speaks to like they actually did newspaper articles that show like their bank robbing when they were still in the town before they left, and showing kind of the talks of them kind of infiltrating these two gangs and pitting them against each other.
And she tells you off rip, y'all stole from both sides, and you don't think they're gonna find out? Like it really don't matter now, but we stole from both sides.
Now it doesn't matter. He was right. It wouldn't matter in the long run. Myself, you didn't, Janine. I don't think you gave a number.
10.
Okay, 10. It's a 10. I don't even know why I'm playing. This is. It's hard to get what I would call a perfect film, and I don't believe any film is perfect because I just don't think that's a feasible thing. But this is freaking close, man. This is.
I mean, I think it can be perfect to you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it is a personal choice, but I don't believe in perfection across the board because I think we are imperfect, and that's what makes us. But that's just me. So,
this is perfect to me though, and in every aspect that I like to watch films in. This was perfect.
I love it.
Also,
all right, so
shout out to Bryce dude in the back with the arms up and the legs crossed.
Yeah, he's chilling. His little legs crossed. He's so fancy.
Yep.
All right.
Is he waiting for
distinguished like William Marshall?
He's imagining stuff at the gold screen. Just relax.
That's right.
He's going to have a Bloody Mary.
I thought a little robe for him, but
yes.
Find a little robe.
So next week we won't have all the movie things. We will miss you, of course. But we are going to cover both Hush and Don't Breathe. So if you guys have never seen those, please watch those so you can cover those with us. You've never seen either? Okay. You did see the 2013 Evil Dead, did you not?
Yes.
Okay, Fede Alvarez did that. He also did Don't Breathe, so you'll see.
But I still need to see you watch Hush, Brian, because I'm probably going to need your backup next week because I know Snitty don't like that movie.
Well, I'm going to give it another try, and I'll give like specifics as to what my problems are with it. But
I think it's
Flanagan is a good director. He's a good writer. But anyway, next week we'll get into that. Otherwise, this has been episode 5 of season 5. Law's going to tell you don't forget to follow us on all social media across the board. Now I'm telling you instead, weirdly. But yeah, please follow us everywhere and check us out next time.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.